Hey everyone. So I know it's been a while since I made my last video. In fact, the last video was pretty epic because, of course, right next to me in that last video was my friend Rich, who came all the way from New York, which was pretty crazy and very awesome and basically just unforgettable. And like he stated in one of his other videos, is that just meeting up with Tim and Diana Kazoo was just simply life changing, we'll put it like that, because whoever thought that something so amazing would happen, where people, just ordinary people, would just start blogging, and you click with some people, you start talking with them, sending messages, and here you are a few years later and you actually meet in person. I mean, it's so surreal, it's amazing. And the reason I haven't made a video in a while is because of mainly just school. Going back to school and taking 3 classes and still working full time. 3 classes, which is 9 units. And that's something that this coming week is basically my final for those 3 classes. And yeah, I know I'm changing subjects slightly, but I'm just trying to cover up as much as possible, just cover what I've gone through so far. So basically I've just been studying, and in some ways it's really good to finally be over this semester, and I probably won't take another class till a year from now, which kind of sucks because they canceled the voice acting class that I was going to take in the spring. So now I really don't have anything to do, and now I'm stuck at that company. So we'll see what happens there. One thing I had to do for one of my classes is I had to interview a voice actor or voice actress. Again, this is an assignment where I had to interview someone who I wanted to be in the same position when I finished school, basically. So, I had to interview someone who, just to learn the ropes of what the industry or their industry is like, how they got into it, what it's like on a typical day, the ups and downs, everything. And first I had Gina Grad, who has done a couple of voiceover work. She had her own, she was part of a radio show on the AM stations, and someone recommended her to me. Of course, sadly that fell through, and after communicating for I think it was going back and forth for probably a couple of months, she stopped responding, and that really put a dent in everything, because basically I had about 3 weeks left and I didn't know what to do. And so I started sending messages to certain people, and one of the people I sent a message to was Rob Paulson, and then a couple other people. The person who did the American voice for Shinji from Neon Genesis Evangelion. He also does a couple of other dubs in English for anime and just Japanese videos overall. So you saw The Host, not by Stephanie Meyer. No, I'm pretty sure that's a lot. What a lot of people were thinking. But there's this movie called The Host. I guess you could call it maybe horror, maybe sci-fi, I guess. But he did the same voice there. But I sent a message, he didn't respond. I also sent a message to Jessie Flowers, and she does the voice of Toph from Avatar: The Last Airbender. And of course, the first person to respond was Rob Paulson, and he said, "Yeah, let's go ahead and do it." We set up a time, and I was just waiting for him to call because we couldn't do it in person. I didn't really mention it, but I just wanted to knock it out as soon as possible. So I'm waiting and waiting. Never called. Yeah, so I sent him a message on Facebook because that's the way we were communicating. And I said, looks like we somehow miss each other's call. Maybe we can go ahead and rearrange for another time. And I didn't even check to see if he was in the same state as I was, because sometimes there are different time zones. As someone knows, sometimes you could be as off as 3 hours. So as soon as I sent the message, I was just nervous, saying, what am I going to do? There's only 2 weeks left. It's getting close, and there's only a couple of days I'm free. And within 10 minutes of sending the message, my phone rings. My house phone. And this person says, "Hi, can I speak to Richard?" "Yeah, this is Richard." "Richard, I'm so sorry." And he forgot about it. I mean, he was busy with other arrangements, but as soon as he got I guess his phone is set up to receive Facebook messages. So as soon as he got my message, he remembered, and so he wanted to know what I wanted to do, if I wanted to do it right there and then, or if I wanted to do it later on at the time that I specified, on a different day, like a secondary, like a backup. But heck, I had him there. I'm like, no, let's do an interview then, just right now. And so that's what we did. We talked for like 2 hours, and he warned me that he was a rambler, and I love it when people ramble, so we hit it off really well. And I asked like maybe 15 questions, but again, it went on for 2 hours, so it was just really a lot of fun, very entertaining, and this too as well, life-changing. I learned just so many things about what it's like to be a voice actor, how you get started, everything. So now I feel so much more prepared. And I wrote my paper, I turned it in, and of course we have to do a presentation in the class talking about it. So everyone's talking about how they interviewed other people in the radio business, how they interviewed DJs, but for some reason they didn't sound too enthusiastic. They sound a bit more, it sounded more downplayed. So in this sense, they were like, and I interviewed so-and-so, and I asked them about this and this, and they told me this and this. Yeah, so when it came to for me to do my presentation, I just said, hi, I went ahead and I interviewed Rob Paulsen, who's a voice actor. How many people watched Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from 1987? Well, I didn't even mention to you guys, Rob Paulsen, he does Raphael from Ninja Turtles from 1987. If that doesn't ring a bell, if you guys are from a younger generation, then if you guys watch Animaniacs, if you bought the DVDs, Volume 1, 2, and I don't know if there's a third one coming out, he does Yakko, and he also does the voice of Pinky. And also, if you ever watch the Tick, the cartoon, he also does, I can't remember the guy's name for the life of me. Well, it's not Tick, but it's his sidekick, the moth guy, all in white. He does his voice. If you've ever seen Darkwing Duck, he does Steelbeak's voice. So this guy has done quite a few different voices. So, I don't know, I just made mine sound a lot more livelier, more energetic, because that's what it was. I mean, I was so pumped, and just talking about it was just awesome. And, as everyone was going through theirs, we're right near the end, one of my classmates turns to me and says, "Yours was the best interview yet." I'm like, wow, awesome. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm definitely keeping in touch with Rob Paulsen. Of course, I'm just sending messages, and he even has a website up right now. It's called robpaulsenlive.com. I'm gonna put the link up, and you guys can check it out, because he was barely telling me about it, telling me not to tell anyone, but since it's now officially up, he wants everyone to spread the word. Me. And one thing he came up with is this idea where you can buy an autograph from him, basically. And it costs $20 and then $5 for shipping. And basically 100% of it goes to 2 charities. And again, I can't remember for the life of me, but one goes to kids and the other one goes to those who have fought in the wars. And basically I went ahead and I signed up as soon as it was available, because it was just in the works. And so I kept checking back, and hey, look, it was available. So I went ahead and signed up. And I went ahead and ordered it, and I let him know how everything went, the presentation. I turned in my paper, and also, hey, I bought an autograph, and he responds by saying, hey, guess what, you're the first one. So this is what it looks like. As you can see, there are many of the voices, and if you look right there, there's the actual autograph. That's pretty cool. As you can see, he also did the mask. I don't have cable, but I hear that's from Jimmy Neutron, I think, and a couple other characters. And I'm not sure because this one's signed, and then this one came with it, but this one's not signed, so I'm not sure really. And it actually comes in a pretty big envelope that says, "Thank you so much for your donation." Because again, when you buy these, they get donated to 2 charities. And it's all 100%. He doesn't make any profit off of it. So in a sense, he says, in this way that, everyone wins. I win and he wins at the same time because he's donating. And of course, the charities win automatically. So I thought that was just really, really awesome. Let's see, what else to talk about? What else? So, 3DS. One thing that some of you may not know is, well, they opened up the eShop. So you took out that one video that was in the corner, and so, okay, that's just super bright. Let's go a little softer on this. So, yeah, there's the eShop. So now you can go ahead and download what you want. Basically, the games like trailers that are going to come out soon. So you can see like Luigi Mansion 2. You can download those, see what they're supposed to look like. Or if you want, you can even download movie trailers like Green Lantern, which I think is pretty cool. And I went ahead and I purchased it today. I got this Nintendo 3DS, these points for $20. Not bad. You can get them at Fry's, of course, and Best Buy. I'm pretty sure Target, Walmart, and GameStop will probably have them as well. But you can play games. You can buy them just like that. This is Super Mario Land. Haven't passed it yet, but I have been playing it, and I thought that was pretty cool. Really, really cool. And of course, now I have leftover money or points, however you want to put it. So I want to see what else I can buy later on. Let's see. Now aside from that, today I actually went and I saw the movie Super 8, which is actually really, really good. And I highly recommend that you guys go watch it. Now I can't tell you what it's about because it's too much detail and too much explanation, and I think I would just confuse the hell out of you. It's like that Donnie Darko type thing. Not that it's subject matter of Donnie Darko, but trying to explain it to someone, you'll get them lost. So, usually you just have to say, you have to see it for yourself. And just like this, Super 8, yeah, you do have to see it for yourself. But for those wondering what the title's all about, Super 8, or 8 itself, stands for 8mm. So there's probably Super 8mm. It's like capturing it on film, old style. That's where you got the title from. Anyway, you guys definitely have to check it out. I highly recommended it. When I saw it, everyone was just watching, and really, it just catches you by surprise. I think you guys will really, really enjoy it. Oh, man. Yeah, definitely enjoy it. So, like I was saying, I'm going through finals right now. And this past Thursday, I was on the radio for an hour. The internet radio. That was one of my finals. I had to actually put in a blank disc, bring my own music, put in, hit record, and start talking and introducing songs. And even though I talk only about 4 times throughout the whole hour show, it was still pretty nerve-wracking. One of my friends, she was on before me, and she helped me set up. But one thing that was a little different was my volume on the mic. See, I can control it with a fader, and for some reason I was okay for most of the show, but on one of them I was just really soft. And of course we have to turn in a copy to our teacher, so he's going to hear it. And so now I'm wondering, shoot, what do I do? I mean, there's not much I can do, but I just wonder what grade I'm going to get now. And one of the other things is we have these songs in queue, so you press a button and the song plays, but there's a slight delay, and that's the problem. So I'll say, you know what, coming up next is Gem by They. Is Gem with the song They, and I'll press the button and it goes, and then the song starts, but you hear that delay, and that's a problem. And going in between songs wasn't too much of a hassle, but what the main problem was that I kept doing is there's a button to turn on the microphone, and then there's a mic 2 right next to it, and then there's CD1 and CD2. So when I first started out, and I was just talking about audio8ball.com, which is what I was broadcasting on, and then I introduced myself, and I said, okay, and we're starting up with Tattoo and all the things she said, and I pressed the button, and it was mic 2. And I turned off both mics, and I turned on CD1, and then you hear the pause, and then comes a song. So there's like a delay of like 5 or 6 seconds. Which is pretty bad, and it just threw me off. I didn't like that at all. But for the most part, it was exciting, and it is something I'm definitely going to remember, because I will have a copy of it, which I get to turn in again this coming Wednesday. But yeah, and it's just one more final that I really have to study with, or for, and that's what I have been doing, but it's just a lot of terminology and examples I have to use, and I think I'll do fine. But the one thing that I will miss, and it's just something with me, is when I go to classes just like this, I get to know people, and you get to know the teacher and the environment, and you look forward to it. At the same time, you know that the class will eventually end. Excuse me, just like I'm yawning. You know that the class is eventually gonna end, and in a sense you don't want it to end, because you get to know these people, and just like my Wednesday class, which is 3 hours and then another 3 hours after, because I had the same teacher for 2 classes, and it turns out about like 97% of the people in there are the same for the 2 classes, so you definitely get to know everyone. And the thing is, you don't want that to end. You get used to that routine, to seeing everyone there every single week. And to know that it's going to end is just kind of sad. Because this might be the last time that you see people. You know, so, you know, I want to take pictures, I want to keep in touch with people, and I know it's never going to be the same. The interactions, the classroom, just the fun times and memories that you wish you could relive over and over again. Now they're just all in your head. And that's one thing that I've kind of struggled with, even like throughout growing up. Even when I was in like 1st grade or kindergarten, I don't know how or why, but I would try to memorize the room. I try to remember where everything was, who I had in my class, just remember it, because I don't know, I knew somehow I knew that it wasn't going to be the same. And I would leave it, and when I look back on it, I would really want to remember how it was. And now I remember all the classrooms that I was in. 1st grade, 2nd grade, 3rd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, all the way through now. And now I remember a lot of people, but some people are starting to fade. But yeah. And I think there was probably one more thing I was going to talk to you guys about. Once I stopped yawning, it's like midnight right now, and I have to get up at 9 o'clock to go to work. So, my apologies for yawning. Let's see, what else? Oh yeah, when I was at work, I was ringing up some people. This happened like about maybe 2 weeks ago. And basically I was ringing up customer after customer, and next to me is my other co-worker, and she's ringing up this one guy, but there's a problem with what this guy's getting rung up for. And there are multiple TVs. I guess it's like one per customer, and there's a problem with that. And so this guy's standing there, and he has like a big beard that goes all the way down. He's kind of filled in, and I didn't really think anything of it. He's just right there waiting, and I just keep talking to customers as I ring them up. Hi, how's it going? Yeah, good to see you. Blah blah blah. Your total's this and this and this. Go ahead, show your receipt at the exit. Stuff like that. And as I continue to talk to more people and just, talk with them in casual, because that's how I am. Once my coworker finished with the guy, he turns to me and says, "You know what? You have a really good voice for radio." I'm like, "Oh, thanks. I'm trying to get into voice acting."
Right.
He's like, "Oh, that's good. Are you going to school for that?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm going right here to Mount Sac." And he says, "Well, how'd you like to do some commercials for me?" I'm like, "Huh?
Yeah.
Sure." He's like, I can't pay you, but you'll get a lot of experience." I should. Sure, that sounds like fun. And so he says, "Okay, here, write this number down, and talk to this person, and tell him you talk to someone who looks like ZZ Top." I don't know what ZZ Top looks like, but I'm like, "Okay, sure." So, like later on that week, I give this guy a call. It's like a radio station, basically. And I'm talking to this guy. His name is Steven. And he says basically the guy who looks like a ZZ Top is the most listened to gardener on the internet radio. And I think he has an AM station as well. His name is Nick Fedorov. That's the guy's name. So if you guys want to Google him, you'll see what I mean, ZZ Top. And they were trying to figure out how they can get me to come in and just read PSAs. That's basically what they do for the commercials, and they'll do a letter of recommendation for me, which I thought was really cool, but they still want to hear my voice. And so we couldn't figure out a time, but he says, "You will give me your email address and I'll send you an email," which I haven't received anything. And he says, "Call back," and he says, "Even if you don't hear from me, or please still call back," because I guess he's like really busy. So I called back like maybe twice in 1 week, and again another week, and I kept missing him. I guess he was out to lunch, or I left home for the day, but I did leave my number, but he didn't call back or leave a message. So we'll see how that goes. Since my school ends this week, I'm going to give him a call and say, "Hey, look, my schedule opened up. Let's see what we can knock out, see what we can do," because that would be really exciting. Really, getting experience and getting a letter of recommendation, that's like getting your foot in the door to like other opportunities. And again, this is right after talking with Rob Paulson on Monday of that week, and I think it was on Tuesday, just the next day, that I bump into this guy. I mean, that's just amazing. So again, we'll see how this all turns out. But it's been one exciting trip for this entire semester, and just this entire month, just everything falling into place. Because basically the week after that was when Rich came down, and yeah, just epically awesome. And before I sign off, I just want to give a shout out to my friend Cynthia, who is probably watching right now. Hopefully she makes her first video. Try not to get too intimidated. And well, we'll talk later about that and everything else. And shout out to my friend George as well, and everyone else who's on YouTube, who I'm friends with, or who subscribes and posts comments. Again, you guys are totally awesome. And hopefully this means I'll have more free time to make more videos, because I do have a couple more things to catch up on. E3 just passed by. We have things to talk about for that. The Wii U, my gosh. Everyone who thinks that it's just a controller, which it's not. We're going to talk more about that. So I will talk to you guys later. Take care. Hope you guys are doing well. Bye.